Welcome to another episode of High Proof Ashes. I am one of your co-hosts, Jason JB Smoke. And over to the right of me this time.
Know what it is? He said this time like it's somebody different. Like, it's me. No cool nickname. Duran. We back in the building.
I just meant this time because you're to the right this time, not across.
Not across
time.
from each other?
Yeah.
All right, you know.
Why you want to try to call me out on something?
I'm just saying, you said this time like we...
Like it's like anybody else.
Like you be bringing in different guest hosts or something. Can't nobody take my spot. What y'all think this is, bro? Like, man, listen, we started it. We gonna finish it.
That's right. We're gonna keep,
I'll blow
keep
this
it going.
bitch up. No, I'm just joking.
We're gonna keep it going. For sure, we're gonna keep it going.
Oh man.
Oh geez, boy, we already cracking up. We ain't even like 2 minutes in.
Nah.
All right, so we are gonna do something that we have done before as a pre-production, but this is the regular production. So I'm actually curious, not that I remember that much how the pre-production is, but today we are going to do the Drew Estate Blackened M81.
Yes, sir.
So this is the essentially triple maduro.
Yeah.
You know, from Drew Estate.
Strong, strong, strong.
Very strong cigar. This is their collab with Metallica and the Blackened
Spirits.
Spirits.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we're not doing a Blackened Spirit today. Maybe we should have rethought that. But
it's not too late.
I mean, nah. So we've done the Blackened Spirits before.
We have.
You know, so we wanted to highlight something that came out from our local liquor store.
Another pick.
It is another pick, but it is very, very good.
It is, man.
And the brand, I want to highlight the brand when we get to that. But why don't you tell us about the Spirit, man?
So this is the Rare Character, finished in a maple cask. Dude, it is so good, right?
It's so flavorful.
When you think maple, I know you probably think syrup.
Yes.
This is like that maple finish without the syrupy sweetness.
That's right.
Right? So
absolutely.
It is like the perfect blend. And as you can see, like, it's already, it's taking a little hit. Now, here's the thing. This bottle hasn't made a whole bunch of appearances because it's quite expensive. Well, to most people, it's quite expensive. It's 110, 120, something like that.
I was going to say, it's up there for even us. Yeah. Like, you know, you hit that $100 mark.
It better be damn good.
It better be damn good.
And this one is damn good.
This one's damn good. Yeah.
It's 107 proof. It might be closer to 108. It's 107.7. It is aged between 6 and 10 years. I'm not sure where Rare Character sources their juice, so I'll have to check that out, and maybe we'll give it to you in the comments or something like that. But
so
great pour.
I want to highlight the brand though, Rare Character. So you know, I don't know a whole lot about them, but
me neither.
I mean, I can tell you that everything that I've had from Rare Character has been
to this point has been on point.
It has been so good.
Yeah.
Like it's been so either the uniqueness really pulls it out. Like this one is super unique.
Yeah.
One of the ones that I have is it's like a malted experimental or something like that. And I mean, had it at a tasting, was able to happen to find it when I was out looking for other stuff. Got it. Wasn't cheap either.
No.
But if you ever get an opportunity to try some Rare Character, you should definitely need to try it. I know it's probably an unknown brand to a lot of people, but
I mean, at this point, I have two
impressed.
of them in my collection, and realistically, what started it off for me with Rare Character was I went to a restaurant, and that restaurant had a pick that they did specifically for the restaurant of Rare Character.
Nice.
It was very, very good, and I was like, oh, I need to start checking and paying more attention to these. And when I went to buy this one, I told you, I went into the store looking to buy something else.
Right.
I was like, man, let me try this on a clean palate, right? Like, and boy, immediately I was like, oh, I just screwed myself because I'm taking this instead of the other one.
Yeah. Like I have not tried this on a clean palate. I should try this on a clean palate one day. Yeah. You
definitely should.
But anyway, let's get into the cigar, man.
Yeah, man.
So, you know, this is a recent release from Drew Estate. If you don't know, if you've been living under a rock, a cigar rock, they have since released the shade to black.
Yes.
I think it's an S84, I think is the letters and number.
Yeah. That's it.
So, you know, I actually don't know the difference between them other than it's a different wrapper. I don't know if that one also has the Maduro filler and binder. Actually, I'm not even sure.
I would think it does because it is strong.
So we did the Shade to Black with the Freestyle pack.
Yes.
So if you haven't caught that episode, go back and find that one. But we're going to get into this and give it a fresh critique.
Let's do it.
Right. So I mean, immediately, it's a beautiful cigar. Like, not a lot on the smell though.
No,
it's kind of light. Like, I don't get a whole lot. You?
No, it's very mediocre on the nose, right?
Like, I kind of expected it to be a little bit more pungent, being a triple Maduro. And listen, if you like triple Maduro, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it real quick. Camacho, they have one called a triple Maduro.
It's very good,
and it's very good, and you can get it for a really good price. These are reasonably priced too. I think these are $8 to $10 depending on the size. Nice cold draw.
I just made a rookie mistake. I didn't do a good job of.
Didn't clean the head. You didn't deburr it. That's what they call it. Deburring.
Pause. You said clean the head.
You got me. You got me.
See, it threw me off. I didn't even get a good light because, like, all of the tobacco just kind of flew in there, and I was like, oh, ooh, shit. All right.
That's got some strength to it. Kind of just immediate flavors. It's kind of woodsy, like hay, barnyard, kind of.
My one critique of these is always there's just not. I want more flavor from it.
Well, I think that's why we're giving it another try, right? So they've had time to how do I want to say it? They've had time to play with the blend, I guess, a little bit. We had the pre-production thing, and maybe so these are actually from the Barn Smoker.
Yes, the original.
So no, the recent one that I went to.
Oh, okay. So you got these at the most recent Barn Smoker?
Yeah, and they've been resting for what is that, like 6, 7, 8 months, something like that.
So funny enough, this is from this lighter right here, the Drew Estate. I don't even know what this is called, like a pencil lighter or something like that. But this is from the Freestyle Live pack of the S84.
The Shady Black. Okay,
the Shady Black, right?
Very nice.
So,
pretty good lighter.
Coincidence. But it's a great lighter.
Like single flame lighter.
Yeah. Great for touch-ups, that type of thing.
Absolutely.
Right? Getting those little areas that I missed because I almost died from choking on little pieces of tobacco.
I mean, immediately, I don't hate it. Like, it's a nice, strong, full-flavored cigar.
Well, immediately, I'm thinking I might have to cut a little deeper because I'm not getting a lot of smoke production. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and cut now before we get too far into this journey and I get agitated.
You can't blame me this time. He picked it. Not this time.
If it's bad, it's my fault.
Yeah, so I'm like, you're going to pick the one you're going to smoke. All right, I'm going to get a pour here. So, typical of Rare Character, they have this isn't really a tater sticker, but they tend to do, I'm going to call them custom labels.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
They're not really tater stickers, but they tend to do custom labels. So I don't know that I have seen like a repeat Rare Character label, right? Like, yeah, the back here
that
is
type of bottle, but they have one that is very, very similar a lot. Like that other bottle I have, with the blue top.
Yeah.
That one I see a lot.
Okay. But I think for the most part, a lot of their labels are almost custom for the bottle, and I think that's really cool that they do that. So here you go. You can get your pour. This one is one of those that you really need to take in the aroma. It's a very unique aroma.
Only doing one bottle, so get a good little pour there.
And this also really develops in the glass.
Yes.
Like I don't get a lot of maple right off the bat.
No, and I also like I don't get a ton of it on the nose.
That's what I'm saying. Like on the nose, right off the bat, I'm not getting. It's very, very subtle.
It smells so refreshing though.
And here's the thing. Like I know it's 108. It doesn't smell it at all.
No, not even close.
Like this thing smells like a 90 proof. Like that's crazy. But if you're into the aroma of bourbons and whiskeys, you're gonna really, really enjoy this one.
That's just good.
Man, it's sweet. It's caramel. It's floral.
This is a rye as well.
Is it really?
Yeah, straight rye.
No way. Straight up. It is a straight rye whiskey.
Look at this. Look. God damn. Oh. Fuck.
What? You got a good burn going.
I have to work. I already feel it.
While I'm looking at it and I'm thinking about it, so straight rye whiskey, what that means is that there's no additives. So if you buy a rye whiskey and it doesn't say straight rye whiskey, they can have, and Ray would be able to tell me the exact number, but I think they can have up to 5% additives.
Okay.
So that, be that coloring, flavoring, sugar, whatever. So you really want to try to find the straight rye whiskeys because you're getting just the pure juice.
The purest of what you can get from rye.
That's right. Man.
It's a good bottle, though.
The finish on that, like I'm still tasting it.
Oh yeah, it lingers on the palate.
Holy hell, man, that is so good.
It's one of those, like, so after our episode, like, I'm probably gonna have to stuff this in the back of the cabinet somewhere because I enjoy it a little too much. But
I mean, that's what we buy these things for, right? We buy them to enjoy them.
Yeah, definitely. But also at the same time, like, you want to have them around for a little bit. Like, I'm bad about like finding something I enjoy and just tapping it a little too often.
I mean, I told you when you find something like this that you really love, you got to buy 2 bottles. Just buy 2.
That's a hard pill to swallow at this price point.
Just buy 2.
At this price point, that would have been a close to $300 day for 2 of those.
I feel you. But the level of uniqueness with this one,
it is.
Like, man, it actually goes really well with the cigar.
It actually does. Like that strong maduro.
I'm a little surprised.
Right? Like it kind of mellows it just enough to make them meld really well together.
Like it's still lingering on the palate, and the smoke, drawing the smoke in, kind of coated the palate even more and made the flavors change slightly. Oh, that's nice. That's really nice.
I just hit a triple pull. A little better there. We'll see. We'll keep working at it. Let's see. I don't feel any.
Well, mine's burning really well.
I got a little hard spot there.
Yeah, they definitely packed this thing. It's pretty hard.
Yeah.
But luckily, I'm getting a decent draw. Mm-hmm. You picked your cigar. Yeah, I don't even want to hear it.
I said pause again. You said. Again, I'll say, I know we're just in the foot. It leaves something to be desired as far as flavor.
Like I don't hate it, but like I'm with you. Like it is lacking in flavor.
It's strong.
It's just strong. It's strong and it's tobacco. Like I'm smoking this, and I'm getting the strength that I might get from, say, a UC10, but not the flavor.
Right.
So, but hey, listen, like this is a popular cigar. There's tons of people who are smoking this thing and they absolutely love it. They want that strong cigar. It's decently priced. I don't blame them for it. Yeah.
I mean, again, like, so we had to follow up something that was fairly strong on its own.
Yes.
Right. So like this is a cigar that if you've blown out the palate
and you just want to smoke, right?
This is a good one.
Again,
it doesn't have a bad flavor profile. It just doesn't have a complex flavor profile.
There it is. Yeah.
Right.
That's it.
Like it's just not complex. It's not special. It's just a really strong cigar with medium flavor. Right. Like, you know, so if I had to categorize like, you know, very little flavor, medium flavor, great flavor, right? Like this is just a medium flavor cigar. Yeah. Honestly, it teeters on the low to medium flavor side.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. I mean, but at the end of the day, like this is our opinion, and you and I are more flavor guys than we are strength guys. And so, you know, for us, this just doesn't cut it from a, like, I'm going to buy this often kind of cigar. But there's plenty of guys out there that they just want a strong cigar,
again,
man.
Like, you know, if you're looking for something like you don't have a whole lot of knowledge in cigars, and
right,
you know, you're trying to end the night, you know, and still enjoy a cigar, this is a good one to go to, right? Because it gives you a little bit of both, right? Like, well, no, it give you a lot of strength and a little bit of flavor. It's still enough that even after having another cigar and having a different pour, I can still taste this and still, you know, get enough oomph from the cigar that I'm happy with it.
Like, I just did a major retro, and like my first thought was that retro was enjoyable. However, this is a really strong cigar, and I would not recommend someone starting out to retro this thing.
Hell no.
Right? Because like, you're just going to blow your nose. Like,
you're going to burn up every hair in your nose.
Right? Like, I shouldn't have to retro something this strong to get flavor out of it. No. But the retro was enjoyable. You know, but if you're someone that they smoke strong cigars all the time, like, retro the hell out of this thing because you're going to get some flavor.
Let's see one of your draws. Like, I just want to see, like, that was a single draw.
Single draw.
Okay. Yeah, you're definitely getting a little bit better smoke production than I am. It happens.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's very little. Like, it already looks like, am I tunneling?
You might have to ash so we can see.
See,
got a little bit of, I see
something
it.
funny
it's a little
going
bit
on
of a tunnel in there. Yep.
Something funny going on in there, man. Like, damn it. Like,
it always happens to him. It's so funny.
He be setting me up. Like,
I don't.
Subliminally, he's like, pick this one.
I don't, man.
You know, he's on his red pill, blue pill shit.
Oh my God, here he goes. Let's get on this
and I can't figure
out whiskey
where it is. Like, it's just it's hard. Pause. Yeah. I can say this with a straight face. The Blackened line is not my favorite. And I like Drew Estate a lot.
So, just thinking about, you know, everything that Drew Estate has, before they came out with the Blackened, they didn't really have like an overly strong cigar. Like, if you wanted something strong, you had to go to a Liga, right? But the Ligas, while they are strong, they're very flavorful.
They're very refined.
And they're a little pricey. A little bit, right? They're not crazy, but they're a little pricey.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're not in a place like where you can spend that kind of money, you can get these for relatively good price.
Yeah, yeah. I would tell you there's another cigar right there at this price point that I would buy every day before I bought this.
From Drew Estate? Yeah. Or, okay, what?
UC.
Oh, yeah.
10, like, easily.
So, I mean, I would say that for a comparable price, to get something close to this that gives you more flavor, you should go Norteño. And you can get that in the box press.
Yeah.
Like, we've done that. And you were really surprised with it. Like, it's a Herrera Esteli Norteño with a little bird on it. I don't know if you remember it. Mm-hmm. But it's definitely a darker cigar. It's the darkest of the Esteli lines. I think it's even darker than the Miami, if I'm correct. And it's a really good cigar, and it's like $8.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty cheap. I have to admit though, like as much as this cigar isn't really my thing, I'm really enjoying it with this pour.
Okay.
Like I don't know if it's the rye or the maple or that little bit of sweetness that you get, because like this thing isn't sweet at all.
No,
Like-
God, no.
Like
Honestly, it's closer to bitter.
like it's complementing it very well though.
Yeah.
And I'm a
So
little
bitters and sweets to,
I guess. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, I thought about something to chat about today. I wanted to talk about just different types of humidors.
Okay.
So most people, when they start out, right, to get an actual humidor, right? So I think most people, when they start out, they have bags, right? Probably, right? They might have the bag from the cigar shop, you know, the little zippy bag, right?
Well,
But
so that's if you're at that point, you don't own a humidor yet.
I know. But I'm just saying, like, normally when you step up from the zippy bag, you're going to like a desktop, right? Like a simple, small, chest-style desktop humidor.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then, you know, maybe when you step up from that, you might get a little bit bigger chest style, right? And then you might go to what we would call a piece of furniture. And so I wanted to talk about the differences because I know you have a very large chest style humidor, and I have a very large furniture style humidor.
You got two, bro.
Well, the other one is technically the wife's, but
This dude got two.
it's technically,
Don't let him play games.
It's technically
this
hers.
Dude has two.
I don't have any of my stuff in there. So she's got some underground shades in there that I grab every now and again, but that's her humidor. But I wanted to talk about the difference, right? So when I went from the chest style, I went to a it's a countertop style humidor, right? So it's not technically a piece of furniture,
Right.
but it's not something you would want to, like, say, put on the floor. It's intended to put on a counter, just like it says. And then it has, like, you know, two little doors, right? And then there's shelves in there, right? You can move them up and down, whatever, right? It's essentially a small version of what I have right now.
Right.
But I want you to talk about the challenges of having the large chest style humidor.
It's a fucking nightmare.
How many does it hold?
300.
Okay. Wow. That's a big
300. One. It's big, right? Like it. But so the first problem is it's not really meant to sit on a countertop. It's too big to sit on a countertop.
Right. You wouldn't be able to, like, open it and look over it, right?
It's too small to really sit on a floor.
Right.
It hurts my back to bend down in it, or I've got to crack the knees. I'm a little bit older these days, so y'all might not know how old I am, but I'm 40, and like bending down there, my knees pop, all that type of thing, right?
Right.
And so you can get what I have in multiple styles. You can get it with the trays and all of that type of thing, or you can get just the one that I've got, which is
a deep dark hole.
It's just a hole, man. Like you drop fucking cigars in there, and you're gonna be digging. Like
you might see 2 or 3 layers deep, and that's it.
You're gonna be digging, bro. Like
Right.
So I've went to the method of so in the chest there are factions of cigars.
Okay.
There are flavored cigars in like a pack, right?
Like a Ziploc.
A Ziploc.
Yeah.
There's expensive cigars, right? Like my high-end cigars, my Opus, my Amazon Basins, my Anejo, some Drew Estate Ligas, what else might be in there? I'm trying to think of some of the stuff that's in there. The Black Diamond is in there, those type of things.
Yep.
Then there's the everyday smokes.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's in a pack.
Yep.
And all of those things. And then I've got a big ass Bovita, the big joint.
The like 320 gram or whatever it is.
Big joint Bovita.
The big huge one.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's in there. And the other problem is keeping it humidified, right?
Right.
Like it's a challenge.
Right. Because the layers, right?
The layers cause problems.
Right.
So it's a beautiful humidor to look at, right? Like
Yes.
it's always a question when people come in, like they see the bourbon and then they see the chest and they go, what the hell is that? That's cigars. Like, ain't no way. Like, no, that's really cigars. Like, you know, and if you think I got a problem with cigars, like, I got a guy you can talk to. You know, I got a few guys you can talk to, actually. Because our big bro, Drew, he got like 6 humidors around the house.
Right.
That's crazy. Uncle G, you know, Paul, all of these guys, they have crazy collections of cigars. But it's a toss-up, right? So right now I'm in that phase of questioning if I need to take everything out of the humidor, reseason it.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I think that's where I'm at, because right now it's a little lower than I want it to be. It's at about 64. I'd like to have it at like 68, 69, somewhere in there.
So it's a challenge because, you know, it's a large space that has no circulation.
No.
Right. And so you're forced to use Boveda packs or something similar to that. Right. And if you don't layer the Bovedas, you might have one humidity up here and another one down here.
Yes.
Right.
Very true.
And so, you know, so when I went from my small, so the one that I started out with was like a 50 count. And I think that's what most people go to, right? When they buy that first humidor, they buy like a little 50 count.
My first one was a 20.
Okay.
My first joint was a 20.
Okay. But relatively small and not difficult to maintain. And I went from that to the countertop, and I knew just from that 50 count that having a chest style was not what I wanted. Like, I knew that it was going to be difficult to maintain and all that, right? So I bought the display, and it was probably, I don't know, this 3 feet wide, 3 feet tall, and about a foot deep. Okay. And it had 2 double doors that opened like this.
Yep.
And it had trays, and the trays could only hold 2 deep, right? And they were movable, right? So I could move them up or down to fit maybe boxes if I wanted to inside. And then I bought automatic humidification, right? You know, that you plug in. And I'm so glad I did. Like, I ended up buying another one. Like, so I had 2 of them side by side and had no trouble finding what I was looking for. Problem was, it's not really made for boxes.
No, not at all.
Like, yeah, you can put them in there, but if you get to the point where you're buying boxes, you kind of need something else.
Yeah, right? Because you've got to start taking those trays out.
Like, you got to move them up. Yeah. You know, and the trays are like,
space is
like,
not
they're like right on top of each other, man. It was, you know, so, you know, it worked for a little while, but I had a coworker who was he was downsizing and was getting rid of this thing and offered it to me for a ridiculous price.
That's how I ended up with my chest.
Okay.
Like, my chest was, you know, normally you buy a chest like that and it's probably $250, $300.
You got it for what, like $50 or something?
75.
So this one that I have is a literal piece of furniture. The thing is 6 feet tall. The you know, the door itself is what, 5 feet or so?
For sure.
4.5 feet. And I looked it up. It's like back at that time, it was $1,000 humidor. And the guy sold it to me for $150.
Hey, man. Jason won. You know, he trying to one up me. That's what it is.
Now, I will say this. He didn't really know how to humidify. He was using.
It was a little moldy when you got it.
It was moldy in there. So I had
a big ass hole.
You do. Yeah, I see it. I had to literally take every stinking piece of wood out of there and wipe it down with a water and alcohol mixture. I did. And then I had to rehumidify the whole thing. It took like 4 days, but well worth the money. I took the automatic humidification that I had from the other 2 units, stuck it in there, and the thing has been great. The thing holds so many more cigars than I'll probably ever own, and that's only because I smoke so much.
So there are some other ones out there that we're not talking about, right? Like your cooler style humidor, right? Like
the cooler doors, yep.
The cooler doors, you just plug them into the wall.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it has an electronic temperature and humidification gauge.
The biggest problem with those is they take up a lot of space.
They do.
They don't provide a lot of storage.
Correct.
You know, because they're basically a mini fridge, and a good portion of it is taken up by the automatic humidification and the refrigeration, like, you know, portion of it. I don't know. I haven't had anybody really tell me that keeping cigars at a certain, like, lower temperature does anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, most people's houses are 70, 75 degrees, and that's fine for a cigar. Like, So normally you don't have to like cool your humidor. My biggest thing is just making sure it's at the right humidity.
Well, and you know, it's putting it in the right spot too, right? Like,
oh yeah.
So you don't want to put it in like the warmest part of your house or anything like that, right? So mine sits right under a window, but like the sunlight doesn't actually hit the humidor because of you know, it's
you don't want the
against
sun to hit it. Yeah,
the angle of the sun doesn't hit it. So it keeps it probably, I'd say, around 71 year round.
That's good.
The humidity is really more of the issue.
Right.
You know, so it's a little harder to control. And realistically, I probably need to go with some sort of humidification up top and something in the bottom.
Probably.
And that probably work a little bit better.
Probably.
But you know, also at the same time, I smoke through cigars so fast that.
Yeah. But you know, so this one here, I've got 8 drawers that pull out, and they hold. I think each one of them holds Robusto size, something in the neighborhood of 60 cigars.
Okay.
Each drawer, if I did nothing but Robustos. And then there's these, calling them trays is a disservice. They're 8 inches deep.
Yeah,
you
they're
know,
serious.
But
serious.
they're big, like box looking things, right? And they kind of stack in there, right?
We should have prepared better for this, man.
And,
like we should pull some of this stuff out. And
I mean, you know, so one day we'll do a tour of Time to Burn, and I'll show you guys the actual humidor.
Yeah.
And then there's 2 other large spaces that are just open, right? So those are just for boxes. But the wife's, like hers, I had trouble trying to pick hers because I knew that she would have a lot of singles,
right.
but I also knew that she would need space for a few boxes.
Right.
And it's really hard finding something that's not huge mungus, right? That costs $1,000 to hold 500 cigars. That's what I was looking for. Something that holds roughly 500 cigars that has drawers and open space.
Right.
And when I saw this one,
it was a no-brainer.
I was
like as soon as you see it was on.
Like perfect. And it's beautiful. Like it's black. It actually has an extra drawer on the outside for all your accessories and stuff. Like it's absolutely perfect. You know, but pros and cons, like these things take up a lot of space.
They do.
Like they literally take up floor space. And when you get to this size, you have to have the electronic humidification, right? So you're going to spend at least $100 on electronic humidification.
Agreed.
Like mine has 2 in it because it's so big. And so, you know.
So I guess if we're here talking about humidors, let's talk about the different types of humidification out there as well, right? So we've already talked about Ovita packs, which are just little packs with water. I would assume
it's a crystal gel stuff, right? So when it dries, the crystal gets hard, right?
Like, you know, and it literally becomes like a paperweight. It's just hard,
right?
You know, those normally last. You know, a small one. You know, you've got little ones like this. If you had a little humidor, those last about a month.
Yeah.
And then you've got the next step up, which is a bag about that big.
Yep.
Those last about 3 months.
Yep.
On a good day. And then you've got the big joint that I've got, you know, which is probably about that big, right? And those probably last, with the amount of cigars that I have, probably about 3 to 5 months as well. You know, that's a really good day if it lasts that long. You can, you know, rehydrate those.
Absolutely.
If you do it right. I'm not going to tell you the process. Do your research. Do your own thing.
Absolutely.
But then the next step up is the little things with the little gel pellets in it.
Yeah. So you got those, like, it's essentially the same thing as the Boveda, but in like a jar or a disc or sometimes it's a long rectangular thing, right? And you put, so there's 2 different kinds.
Yep.
There's the kinds that you put the juice in. I'm just going to call it juice, right? So you buy this like glycol something or other juice, right? And you squirt that stuff in there and it hydrates the crystals and does its job. Or you buy the ones that just take distilled water.
Those are my preferred.
Like those are definitely preferred for me as well.
Because distilled water costs literally close to nothing, right?
Yeah, it's so cheap.
Buy a gallon of it for $1.35.
Yeah, like it's so cheap.
You know, it's super inexpensive. And then, like Jason said, the next ramp up is the electronic humidification, right? So we're talking, You know, it's plugged into the wall. It's got a little fan built in.
Man.
Like it's the real deal. You can even go as far now as like getting the electronic ones that are Wi-Fi, right?
So yeah, so they have
like
hydrometers.
Gauge the temp.
They have hydrometers, yeah, that hook up to your phone and
Yeah.
stuff. Those are pretty cool. And the electronic humidification, like they've got different levels, right? So the one that I have is, I'm trying to think of a comparison size here. It's roughly the size of, say, like half of a book, right? And so like that's good enough for, I think they say like 3 cubic feet or whatever.
Right.
And then they sell the big ones that are like the size of maybe not quite the size of a cinder block. They're a little bit smaller than a cinder block, right? They got a huge reservoir.
But that's
on
huge,
them,
right?
Right.
And that's for a really big.
That's for a like one that's like 3 times the size of this guy right here.
Almost like a walk-in.
Almost, yeah. And then they sell the ones like that have you can like daisy chain them, and you can buy these little fans. They look like computer fans.
Right.
And so like you can get extra circulation in your humidor and all that kind of stuff. That's what the style that came with hers. They didn't come with any extra stuff, but if I wanted to, I could buy these little fans that like plug into an extra port to get more circulation in the humidor. That's really cool. And then you've got like all the way down at the bottom. All right, let's talk about it real quick.
All right.
Okay, we're talking about the garden foam.
Oh, dog.
Okay, listen, you're going to buy a humidor, okay? They're going to say it comes with the humidification unit.
Cut that shit out.
Okay?
And
just
buy something else.
Get rid of it, okay? It's
Cut it
absolute garbage.
Get it out of the humidor however you
Okay,
can.
don't ever use it, right?
Get rid of it.
Like your travel humidors, a lot of times they come with a little disc that's built into the lid. It's got that same
Just buy a
shit
Boveda pack.
Just put a Boveda pack in that thing and be done with it.
Yeah. Okay?
Don't screw around with the green garden foam.
No. I didn't even
like,
bring that one up because it's just not.
But here's the thing. The two automatic humidification units that I bought, the reservoir came with that green foam in it.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Those are so hard to maintain.
Like they mold. They get mold and mildew. So what did I do? I popped the lid off the reservoir and I bought the little beads that hydrate with distilled water and I put them things in there. Done.
Much better idea.
I've never had to mess with it.
Much better idea.
I've had those things for close to 10 years now.
Much better idea.
You know, so don't mess with the garden foam, y'all. No. Like just go with the Boveda style. Like if that's what you need to do. There's other brands. You don't have to do Boveda. I think Vertigo has one. I'm sure there's others that I don't know about. But they're 2-way humidification. They're really great. And if you have trouble with high humidity in the summer, I do. Here's what you do. You buy one of those like discs or whatever that have the dry crystals in it that take distilled water.
Yep.
Don't put any water in it. Just put the dry disc right in your fucking humidor.
Okay.
Because guess what that's going to do? It's going to draw in any extra humidity.
Okay.
But you'll never have to mess with it because it'll never draw enough
to bring it all the way down.
To bring it all the way blowed up.
Gonna have to believe him on that one because I've never tried it and I don't know.
I'm telling you it works. I'm telling you it works because I've done it. I've got one in there right now.
Well, this dude has a lot of experience with humidors because, like, he's got quite a few of them, you know. So, you know, I know he's even stashing, like, some older humidors in here somewhere, you know. So, you know.
You think so?
Yeah, you got some older shit in here. Maybe not in this room, but you got some older ones in this house somewhere.
I don't. I think the oldest thing that I have in here right now is a Liga A from the very first barn smoker I ever went to.
But if I'm not mistaken, did your wife not buy you like a humidor early on?
It's right there.
So he just said,
I mean,
no, I don't, but there's another humidor in the room.
Well, okay, yeah. So the original one she bought me, the 50 count, I still have it, right? For sentimental reasons.
So there's some older humidors hiding here.
I have my original humidor, but I don't have anything beyond that.
I got you.
And that one has the flavored stuff in it.
Okay.
To keep it like separate from everything else.
I understand. All right, so we got to do our final thoughts.
We do. We ranted quite long enough about the humidors. All right, so I'll go first. The cigar. I mean, it's an enjoyable cigar. It's a cigar. I'm not going to revisit this very often. It's not flavorful enough for me. It is really strong. So, like, if you just wanted a cigar at the end of the night, you've had like 5 cigars, and you just want something that you're going to feel and taste or whatever, like this would work.
Yeah.
But as far as just grabbing this because I want a blacken, no, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
Get it.
And then the spirit. Like I just had my last pour of it, and it's that's so good, man. Like you definitely need to put that in the back of your cabinet because like don't bring it in anymore. Like just bring it over here. You and I'll drink it.
Yeah, that works. That works. That works.
It's so good. Like that little bit of maple on the back end that you get, man, it's so good. That's all I got.
All right. I'll start with the spirit. The maple rare character is just it's so good. Red hot, Rupin, banger. Did your thing. Always do. He spends a lot of time getting the community involved. So these bottles tend to be very, very good, right?
Yeah.
It's got enough of that maple sweetness to it, right? It's so faint. It's not overpowering. Got a little bit of oakiness to it. So it's just an enjoyable pour all the way around. It is pricey. I'm not going to lie to you. If you're not experienced in drinking bourbon, it's probably not the first place you want to go to buy a bottle.
Probably not.
You might not like it just because there are so many things that are happening all at once, right? You really got to understand the different nuances of what you're tasting here. As far as the cigar, I think you guys can see through the episode I've been battling this. And it just seems to happen to me. You know, it's part of the game. Blackened is not at the top of my list. I'm not trying to be overcritical of it or anything like that, but like it's just not special. It's strong. It lacks in flavor. This is one cigar or two cigars because I don't like the shade to black either.
Right.
That I just think Drew Estates, they left something to be desired on the table.
I mean, I think they went for a particular palate, and that's not ours.
It's not ours, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it just definitely leaves something to be desired. With that being said, it's not a bad smoke. Just wouldn't be at the top of my list on any day. Like,
right.
If I'm finishing up the night, like Jason said, and I've had 3 or 4 cigars, and I want something that's strong enough to come through all of the other stuff that might be lingering on the palate, and I can still taste it, probably a good stick to pick. Outside of that, it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm with you. It doesn't impress, and that's not a like a downer on the cigar. It's a good cigar. It just lacks in the flavor department. That's all it is.
Literally,
it just lacks in the flavor department. So, it is what it is. It's not for us, but it'll be for plenty of other people.
Absolutely. But with that being said, y'all know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you hit that little bell to get notifications when we drop new content.
Yep.
And we are trying hard. We're over 50 episodes. When I say like, comment, and subscribe, please do so. Those things really help our channel grow, and we really need that from you guys right now. With that being said, y'all know what it is. I am Duran, no cool nickname. Over to my partner.
I'm Jason JB Smoke, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
I'm trying to put some smoke in the air. It just ain't working very well.